Mystery Run. Monday morning, a day and time which is normally dreaded, the realization that the weekend is over and that a long 5 days lays ahead, listening to complaints from customers, from patients, from the manager, depending on where you work. But for me, it's a day and time which I look forward to. I'm a male, in my early 30s, and consider myself relatively fit, and every Monday to Friday, before going into work, I like to exercise by going to the gym. On Mondays, I focus on cardio, and on the Monday that just went, I decided to try something new, to do sets of sprints up my road instead of running on the treadmill at the gym. Man, I wish I never did. So, I woke up at 7 a.m., had my coffee of course, just like you do every morning, admit it, did my stretches, changed into my workout clothes, got my wireless headphones and stepped out of my house and was ready for my sprints. The plan was to do 10 sets of sprints to the top of my road without stopping, and then walk back to the starting point, which was outside my house, to cool down before starting the next set. I was a bit unsure about completing 10 sets of sprints up my road without stopping, but dreaming is believing and not conceding, right? So, I put on M-Item, not afraid to get me ready. And boy, I felt like I was ready to take the stage. I took a deep breath and began. I sprinted up to the top of my empty road and walked back down to my house. I felt so good and was ready to go again. Only 9 sets left. It's going to be a piece of cake, I told myself, even though I'm on a diet. I managed to complete the second set, but it was much harder than the first. Not too far from reaching the top of my road, I could feel the strain, and whilst walking back down to cool down, I knew I was going to struggle to complete the third set, but told myself I would try my utmost best. I also had to humble myself and tell myself that 10 sets weren't going to be realistic. Talk about being relatively fit, eh? As I got back to the starting point, my heart was racing so fast. I felt as if I was running away from a life-ending situation. I looked up to the sky and asked God to help me get through this third set and promised him I'd not misbehave anymore. Interpret that how you like. I started my third set and it was beyond hard, and no amount of M-Item's encouraging words was helping the pain. Whilst running up, I could finally see another human being walking down, and now the typical man came out of me. I told myself that I'm not going to look like I'm struggling when I run past them, especially if this person is a lady. But whilst I was getting nearer, this person, who was a man, just my luck, suddenly stopped walking. I eventually passed him, and he just looking down at the ground. It was a bit weird, I'll be honest, but I ignored him and pushed myself to the absolute limit and managed to complete the third set without stopping. I was so proud of myself, and before turning around to walk back and cool down, I told myself I would try one more set, which will make it 4. I now have a goal, which I've set myself for every Monday morning. As I turned around, my heart sank. The man who suddenly stopped walking was right in front of me, facing towards me. I took a step back and asked, "Can I help you?" but got no response. He just stared at me and was still as a statue. I believe in the paranormal, so I told myself, "Yep, I'm out of here. Forget the fourth set and get yourself home," whilst Not Afraid was still being played in my ears. I'm so sorry, M-Item. I started walking briskly down my road, and whilst I was walking back home, I decided to turn around. Oh my God, he was now looking at me. He took a step forward, and I was now sprinting down my road. This was not how the fourth set was supposed to go. I ran as fast as I could and told myself not to look back, but I realized if I go home then he would know where I live, so I planned to run to my car and just drive off. My car was parked on a residential bay which is outside my house, and as soon as I could get in, my legs turned into jelly. This man was standing outside my house. I don't know how he didn't run past me. I was so afraid and confused. I froze and he started to walk towards me. As he was walking, he started grinning, and the grin was so evil. I couldn't move, and I thought this was it. He was going to hurt me, or even worse. He was getting closer, and he put his hands in his pocket, looking like he was about to bring something out. For a split second, everything went blank. I still had one headphone in, and my mind, body, and soul was connected to the song, which was still playing, Not Afraid. The adrenaline was now rushing through my veins, and I told myself that I'm not here to disturb anyone and want to live along everyone in peace. But I will not let anyone disturb me from getting along with my day for no reason, and I started walking towards him too. We were now both walking towards each other. He still had that evil grin, with his hands in his pocket, whilst I was walking with the words of Not Afraid still being blasted into my ear. I then started running towards him. I don't know what got into me. I didn't think about anything, my family, what he might have on him, or the evil grin, only that I was being threatened for no reason, and I was ready to land a heavy blow on him to try hurt him before he could hurt me. I was now screaming whilst running towards him. I was now so close to him, and just as I was about to throw a punch, everything went dark and silent. I then hear Not Afraid being played all around me. It was loud, my alarm clock. Yep, I woke up and great, it's Monday morning.